Hi guys, ArchieLuxury. Go to f2bbs.com. www.f2bbs.com. The last bastion of free speech on the interweb. That's right, guys. I want you to go to www.f2bbs.com. That's right. I want you to go there. You can, this is a great site to fight against all sorts of nastiness by posting on f2bbs.com, the last bastion of free speech on the interweb. Go there, guys. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury channel. Today I'm doing a paid review. This is 20QA8. Now this was a bit of advice. See guys, as well as doing paid watch reviews, I also do paid advice. You can ask me a simple question, $20. If you want an hour of my phone on the phone, it's $50. So you can ask me some questions. Now before we jump into this, let's do a customary wristwatch check. Rolex Submariner. Rolex Submariner. That's the one, guys. Now let's jump in now. This here. Hello Archie, I'm looking for your advice. I've sent you some money via PayPal. I'm getting married in 2021 and as a mutual wedding gift we are looking at watches. I found a few things I like between Breguet, Blancpain, Lange and Glasshoot Original. I'm waiting for the lockdown to be over here in London, but pretty confident I will pick a piece that is not a Scheider. However, for my wife-to-be, we are currently looking for a yellow gold piece, her preference. As it turns out, that doesn't seem to be a very popular piece anymore. She doesn't like any of the modern ladies' watches, so we went onto Chrono24 and found a few interesting pieces that she liked. All older and second hand. To make things worse, I can't seem to find more than one copy of most of them. As it turned out, most of those watches came from a dealer in London, so before the lockdown we went to see him. He doesn't have a shop, but instead a small room in central London. He was friendly and showed us 4 watches out of a wider list we liked. It was a last-minute visit. I've never bought second hand, so naturally I am worried about the dealer. Not that I have a specific reason, but it's hard to judge when you are not an expert. Also, there's no way to compare prices, so I thought I'd ask your advice. I know you're more into men's watches, but it's worth a little bit of money to get your advice. The dealer in question, he's named the dealer. He told me he's been around for a while, So, my question has a few different legs. 1, how do I check this if the seller is trustworthy? 2, how would I check if the watch we like is selling are real? How would I know if the price makes sense, and how much can I negotiate on the price list? 4, should I get the watch serviced after I get it? 5, some of them are really old. Are there any other risks? 6, anything I'm not thinking about? For your information, here is a list to go and see when in lockdown is over. We've seen the 2 Pateks already. Thank you for advice. Looking forward to hearing back from you, Peter. Now, I got to be honest with you. I had a bit of a bad vibe with this guy. He sort of seems to be, how do I put it? He seemed to be a little bit fond of himself. I just didn't get the right gel with him, okay? But I said, Peter, stop. First bit of advice. Okay, I said, let's work out something very quick. Is this watch one piece that she's going to add to an existing collection, or is this a one and done? She's going to wear it everywhere. And he said to me, oh, she's going to wear it everywhere. And I said, okie dokie. And then I said, okay, she's going to wear it everywhere. I said, does she have any watches of substance? No, she doesn't. I said, okay. Now, Peter, I said, I'll tell you the first bit of advice. I've actually had a look. I had a look at all the watches. There was a Breguet. There was a ladies Rolex Cellini. There's an Audemars Piguet. There was 2 Pateks. There was a Vacheron and a Chopard. And I got to be completely honest with you. I said, Peter, these are all delicate dress watches. These are very delicate dress watches. And I said, I know about delicate. I'm the man with 6 Patek Philippe's. And I got to tell you, Peter, for ladies, let me tell you a story. Many years ago, a friend of my Japanese wife, another Japanese lady, she wanted a Cartier Tank Francais. And I said, you know, you'd be so much better off getting a Rolex Datejust. No, she wanted a Tank Francais, a steel Tank Francais, and she got a quartz one. She got a quartz one. And anyhow, that's okay. And this was a modern, good piece. She bought it brand new from Cartier. Anyhow, advanced 12 years. Guess what? She takes it into Cartier one day for a replacement battery. And they say the movement's shot because it's been water damaged. I could just tell because it doesn't have a screw-in crown. And one thing about ladies is they're extremely good on the hygiene. They wash their hands after they use the toilet. They wash their hands when they're preparing food. They are pretty clean creatures, unlike us menfolk who may not be doing that. You know what I'm saying, guys? Now, the thing is, if you're wearing a watch that is water resistant, eventually it'll get damaged. So if you've got a lady in your life you want to buy a watch for, my best advice, and I said this to Peter, I said, Peter, the best advice is, these are all delicate dress watches. These are watches to wear if you're going out somewhere special. These are not to wear for daily life. What you got to do is, if you want a one and done, get a Rolex. And I said, on your list, you got a Rolex Cellini. The Cellinis generally are not waterproof. I said, you need to get an oyster-cased Rolex. I said, what I would do is, let me tell you what I would do. Number one, work out the size. In ladies' Rolex, basically, you got 28 mil is the ladies' size, which actually you've even got 26 mil. They've just increased it to 28 mil, but 26 or 28. Then you've got the mid-size, the 31 mil. Then you can go to the 36 mil. So those are generally the 3 sizes for ladies. And I think you've got to pick your size. Then you pick, do you want two-tone? Do you want steel? And I said, do not pick solid gold, because solid gold, generally speaking, it will stretch. The beauty of getting a two-tone, you've got the strength of steel with a little bit gold flair. So I said to him, I wouldn't be, as a one and done, I wouldn't be, even if you bought a ladies Rolex President Ladies, it wouldn't be the best thing to buy as a everyday, because it's gold. The gold is soft. And then I said, you work out you want a fluted bezel or you want a smooth bezel. You work out date or not. I said the best watch you could get would be a steel, oyster perpetual, boom. If you want to be a bit fancy, get a two-tone Datejust. I said that is what I would do. These watches here, man, they're very, very delicate dress watches. These are not now, you can wear these every day. Yes, I'm sure there's a lady who does, and it's okay. But I'm telling you, for normal ladies, and I'm telling you from experience here, very hygienic, wash their hands. Well, that is going to work well when it's not really waterproof. So can you see what I'm saying? Do you understand my argument? Do you understand my argument? Okay? Do you understand my argument? I'm just trying to, I said to him, these here are delicate dress watches. They're not one and done every day. This will fall to bits if you use these things every day. So I explained this to him. He didn't really like my answer. See, I'm not here to blow smoke up his ass. I'm here to tell him the damn truth. Okay, that's what my job is. Now, he said, how can I check if this seller is trustworthy? I said, geez. I said, basically, I'd be going to somebody you like. Bricks and mortar store is generally better than a mini dealer, but I said, you've got to work it out yourself. I said, this is a minefield. Next question. How would I check if the watch he's selling, if they're real? And I said, look, from the ones I've seen here, they all seem correct. Okay, people. That's not to say, you know, I generally speaking, if you're dealing with someone who's in a business in London, they're more likely to have an aftermarket diamonds put onto it than actually sell you a fake Rolex or a fake Cartier or a fake Patek. That's kind of how. It's not to say it's not impossible. Of course it's impossible. This is fraught with danger. Then he said, how would I know if the price makes sense? And how much? I said, man, you've got to look into these. I said to him, I said, for starters, I'd be looking at Rolex. I said, if you're asking these questions, I think you should be buying a new Rolex. That's what I would do. I would go and buy a new Rolex for your wife. Rolex Datejust. Go in, take her in, pick the size, and then I think that would be better for you. I explained this to him. Should I get the watch serviced after? I said, look, it depends on the dealer. So what are some other things that are really old? Are there any other risks? Of course there's risks. The biggest risk is you're going to buy a watch that isn't fit for the purpose you've got in mind there. Okay, these are delicate watches. They're very, very, very delicate. I said, these aren't really good watches as an everyday wear. I'd highly recommend Rolex. I explained this to him. Anything else I'm not thinking? I said, Peter, you sent me lousy $20. I said, Peter, it's not, this is 50 questions, 50 questions, all this. I said, Peter, if it was me, with my advice to you would be go to the Rolex dealer and buy a new Rolex. Oh, she doesn't really like Rolex. I said, Peter, listen to me. I'm the pontiff. Those watches are delicate. They're old, they're delicate, and I could just see this isn't going to end well. I'm trying to be polite. I had the bearded lady. You know, many years ago, I gave advice to the bearded lady. That guy's got psycho problems. And he wants to buy a Rolex Day-Date. It's a plastic Day-Date, 1803, that had been butchered with a fake bark finish. It had a Mexican, which is correct. They actually did make some of these bracelets in Mexico due to the tax on gold. And it had aftermarket bark finish. And I'm trying to be polite. I was trying to be polite to the bearded lady and say, I'm not quite sure I would buy that, you know, and sure enough, the bearded lady, he knew better. I'll buy it then. Thank you. You've said it. I said, I didn't quite say that. When I was talking to Peter, I said to him, I wouldn't really buy it. I don't like the list you've given me. These are he didn't like it because I didn't say to him, this is fun. This would be a great choice. Yeah, that's so wonderful. I told him the truth. I said, don't buy that. That's delicate dress watches. I would buy Rolex. I told him he's sort of, I don't think he respected my answer. He kind of was, you know, he wanted to hear how great an idea it was, and I thought he was a bit of a prat, to be completely honest with you. I thought he just came across as a bit of a dick, but You know, he doesn't know much about watches. The questions, 50 million questions. Man, the lousy cheap bastard sent me $20 and he's asking me 50 million questions. Man, what do you want for $20? I'm giving you general advice. Listen to what I damn well say. I said, get a damn Rolex, buy it new. You do not sound like a buyer who could handle a pre-owned watch. You sound like somebody who should be buying new. I explained this to Peter. I tried to tell the bearded lady when I was giving advice, hey, I wouldn't buy it, but he went off. You know, that sort of guy. You can see why he's such a obnoxious sort of dude, you know, because he just doesn't listen. He can never be wrong because he can never be wrong because he knows more. He knows more, doesn't he? He's just, you know, he knows more. So I got to be completely honest with you and say that, yeah, I got to be totally honest with you and just tell you that I gave the advice. You follow. You ask me the advice. I answer the question. It may not be the answer you want, but it's the truth. I'm ArchieLuxury. Tell me what you think of that, guys. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Don't be afraid to put some nasty comments below. And guys, I can't survive on Google Ads. Guys, I need paid reviews. Paid reviews is what makes me survive on the tubes. I need paid reviews. Without the paid reviews, I would sink. $50 a paid review. I'll tell you what I think. Okay, guys, and I will see you in the next one. The Rolex Submariner date. Probably the most versatile, the most famous, the most wanted watch of 2020. The Rolex Submariner. Absolutely stunning. I've gone for the steel model. I wanted something that could be worn every day. The businessman's delight. Look at the side profile. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. I've got to tell you, I am in love with this Submariner. Black on black. Does it get any better? Black on black. The Rolex Submariner. This is what this is just such a beautiful look at the. I got to tell you, the maxi, that just the whole thing, this whole thing is everything the ceramic sub should have been from day one. Absolutely winner chicken dinner. Absolutely. And it's got the new clasp with the glide lock for easy adjustments. Absolutely winner chicken dinner. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury. And who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the Pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.